I don't know how the term Western is defined. I have the impression over the years that a Western is a movie that has horses in it and big hats. It takes place in the 19th century, usually on the west side of the Mississippi River. I've read critics who are bold enough to call science fiction movies Westerns. So it's a term that people use, but I don't think it has much of a definition.
I think the human condition's the same. The time has changed. The costumes have changed. The characters we had in this movie had less access to health care of all kinds, mental health and medical health all around, nutrition. But people suffer. People have always suffered, and they will continue to suffer for various reasons, and I think that this is an honest look at the suffering of these people at this time in our American history. It's not what it's often held out to be.
It's not your traditional, gunslingers and streets and cowherds and cowboys and gunfights and fistfights, but I think it's a Western. There's a lot of Western things about it. The fight with the freighter and the wagon going from west to east and the traveling and the hardship. It's all there. I guess you'd call it a classic Western.
The Homesman is not a Western. It's a Midwestern. It's not about cowboys and Indians, although there are Indians and there is the sort of terrain in which cowboys lived and told their stories.
But it's not the West that we've traditionally seen in American motion pictures. It's earlier on. Most of the Westerns that are made in the 1880s, 1890s, and this is about life on the early frontier in really what is the Midwest as opposed to the West. So no, I wouldn't call it a Western. There are certain things that it shares with Westerns. There are horses, there are mules, there are wagons, there are carts, there are guns, there are Indians. But in the end, no, I wouldn't call it a Western.